What a character! Pinoys praise Alex Eala for her take on handling pressure. Tennis ace Alex Eala drew praise for her perspective on handling pressure after she compared it to what many Filipinos face in their daily lives. The 20-year-old vindicant impressed fans with a response during a post-match interview after defeating Russia's Elena Chereva at the historic WTA 125 Philippine Women's Open on Monday, January 26. The match marked Alex's first home-court appearance at the Rizal Memorial Tennis Center and her first time competing professionally in front of a Filipino crowd. Following her victory, the left-handed star was asked about the pressure she felt competing in the country's first-ever WTA tournament on home soil. "Pressure is part of my job, and a lot of people ask me how I handle it. Of course, there's added pressure playing at home," Alex shared in the interview. "But it's nothing compared to the pressure that regular, everyday Filipinos have to face providing for their families. It's nothing compared to what my parents have sacrificed to bring me here. I'm doing my best, and I'm trying to enjoy," she added. Her response resonated with fellow Filipinos, many of whom praised her grounded perspective. "I mean, that performance was next level," but her post-match interview. "Chef's kiss," a Threads user wrote. Especially when she said that the pressure is nothing compared to the pressures of every Filipinos providing for their families. She captured everybody's hearts right there. "How can you not love this lady?" the Threads user added. The post has earned 3,000 likes, 136 reposts, and almost 80 replies on the Meta platform. "Teary-eyed listening to her words, full of wisdom," another commented with emojis. "Her depth and articulacy are really admirable. I know nothing of tennis, but I'm rooting for her simply because of her character," a Reddit user wrote. "What a character! I love you, Alex. You make me so proud," another said. "She got wisdom." "Vamos, Alex," another Redditor commented with a heart emoji. "Nakakayak. Nakaka-proud," a different Threads user wrote. "She raised our flag well. She is really an inspiration, a breath of fresh air and worthy of emulation. We, Filipinos, is a great race and deserve a living hero like her," another Pinoy wrote. Alex has previously been lauded for her efforts to preserve her Pinoy roots by continuing to immerse herself in Filipino culture while training in Spain before turning professional. The second seed is set to face either world number 140 Himino Sakitsum or number 204 No Hibino of Japan on January 28 at the WTA 125 Philippine Women's Open. More than a game, the heart of Alex Eala and the Filipino spirit. There are moments in sport that transcend wins and losses. Moments that reach far beyond the baseline or goalpost and speak instead to something universal: resilience, humility, solidarity, and the human spirit. For many Filipinos around the world, tennis star Alex Eala recently gave them one such moment. At 20 years old, Alex Eala is already a remarkable tennis talent, a world number 49 who has trained rigorously from a young age, won medals, and carried the Philippine flag onto courts across the globe. But it was her response after a pivotal match at the historic WTA 125 Philippine Women's Open, her first professional tournament on home soil, that captivated the hearts of her fellow Filipinos. After a convincing first-round victory, Eala was asked how she manages pressure, especially now, competing publicly in Manila, in front of her own people. Her answer was simple, yet profound. Instead of talking about rankings or technique, she spoke with honesty about perspective. "Pressure is part of my job, but it's nothing compared to the pressures that regular everyday Filipinos have to face providing for their families." That line, humble, real, and full of heart, spread quickly beyond just sports pages. It wasn't just the content of her response, but what it revealed about her character that moved people. She didn't diminish the challenge she felt as an athlete, yet she acknowledged it was nothing compared to the everyday pressures many others endure just to live. She referenced her parents' sacrifices, the daily struggles of ordinary people, and the wider context of life outside athletics. A tennis player with a philosopher's heart. In a world where athletes often speak in rehearsed soundbites, Alex's words had a grounded authenticity. They didn't sound scripted, they sounded human. They spoke of gratitude, of context, and of a rare self-awareness. She didn't just win a match, she gave a reflection on life itself. "It's nothing compared to what my parents have sacrificed to bring me here." This wasn't a boast or cliché. It was a tribute to family, to everyday struggle, to the people whose sacrifices allow others to shine. And it struck a chord with Filipinos who see in her not just a tennis star, but a mirror of their own lives, hard work, big dreams, and the reality that life's pressures often run far deeper than sport. Why this matter resonated with Pinoys? For many Filipinos, at home and abroad, pressure isn't abstract. It's part of daily life, juggling work and family, making ends meet, holding on to hope when the odds seem stacked, and doing it all with a smile. So when Alex compared her competitive pressure to the daily grind faced by many, what she said wasn't just empathy, it was solidarity. That was evident on social media. A Threads user praised her interview as chef's kiss. Not just for eloquence, but for depth of character. Another wrote that even people who don't follow tennis were now rooting for her simply because of her character. Others, on Reddit and various platforms, echoed similar sentiments: pride, emotions, and admiration for how she carries herself. It wasn't just a response, it was a reflection that Filipino culture values humility, respect for family sacrifice, and a grounded sense of identity. More than an athlete, a symbol of identity. Sports fans around the world know the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. But in nations like the Philippines, where resources, opportunities, and international platforms are scarce, an athlete's triumph is often collective. When Alex steps onto the court, she doesn't just represent herself, she represents a nation's dreams, struggles, and potential. She reminds people that a Filipino can make it anywhere in the world. This isn't hyperbole. Eala's entire journey, training overseas, competing against top pros, and now achieving success on home turf, reflects a larger narrative, that excellence can come from humble beginnings and that perseverance bears fruit. And yet she stays rooted in gratitude and acknowledgement of her roots. Handling pressure, a lesson beyond sport. Pressure exists in every domain of life, in school, in work, in relationships, in survival. Most people never stand under the spotlight with thousands watching, but millions feel the weight of expectations in less visible ways. Alex's words remind us that pressure is contextual. What feels overwhelming in one domain may pale compared to daily survival in another.